Hi, hello, I'm Jaye and welcome to Celios Cosplay. Today we're continuing our lookbook series. If you don't know what that is, we are putting together a Hazbin Hotel lookbook series where we talk you through how best to get started cosplaying the major characters of Hazbin Hotel. Today we are continuing this series with Angeldust, who is probably one of our most requested and my personal favourite to cosplay. Totally not biased whatsoever. And I'm here to talk you through how to get started with Angeldust. Now, a little bit of a disclosure before we get into this. My Angeldust cosplay was made from scratch by me by hand, but I will do my best to explain how you can start putting together your own Angeldust costume. So I'll talk you through the makeup process and then how I would approach his costume if I wasn't making it by hand. If you're not already, please consider subscribing. We have a lot of content here for everybody, whether it is makeup and tutorials to vlogs and silly things and CMVs, whatever takes your fancy, and we would love to continue growing our wonderful little community here. We really appreciate all of you. And yeah, so without further ado, let's just get into the video. As always, we're getting started with our lenses here. Now for Angel, I use two different kinds of lenses just because he has two different coloured eyes. So for my pink eye, I'm using the Moco Queen Nikki Pink Heartbeat lens in a -7 prescription, and it is these gorgeous pink heart-shaped lenses, and I love them. They just add an extra little bit of detail to Angel's character. Just standard pink lenses do also work here. And for his other eye, that's mostly black, I'm using the Yanixo Sweetie Pearl Black lenses in a -7. Now, just a note about both of these lenses, even though they are from different providers and two very different lenses, they both do cut down your peripheral vision just a little bit. So just bear in mind that your vision will be a little bit blacker than normal. It is fine. I can see just fine through these lenses, but just bear that in mind that your peripheral vision might not be the best with these in. For your primer, just like every other body paint, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Putty Primer, and I am putting that all over my face just to give my body paint something better to stick to smooth my skin texture out. Especially in this occasion, I was heading to a con, so I really needed my body paint to stay on, and this stuff really gets me through the day. For my body paint, we are going in with our favourite white Mehron Paradise paints. I don't think I need to take you through this again, but just in case you're new here, this is my favourite brand of body paint. It is extremely beginner friendly. We have a video comparing different types of water-based body paint. We also have a video on how to apply water-based body paint. So if either of those are of interest to you, they are on our channel and they will talk you through a little bit better on how to apply body paint. This is my favourite method with my favourite body paint, but please go and find what works best for you. And I'm putting this white body paint all over my face, making sure to get my ears as well, and just down my neck enough to where the fur on my costume covers up. And then later on you will see Leah goes in and just sort of make sure the back of my neck is covered as well, just because I am going to a con and I need that full coverage. For my eyebrows, I just use my normal everyday eyebrow products, whether that is gel, powder, whatever works for you. I'm just going in with an extremely dark brown shade, and I'm doing these sort of pointy half brows. I do this because I find it's very dramatic for him. It gives that sort of androgynous look to him, but I also do them like this because this is how I tend to do my natural brows normally, and I like the look of them. You can do whatever you want for Angel. If you want to do full brows with tails and everything, experiment and find what's best for you, but my preference is to do these silly little half brows. For my blush, I'm just using an extremely pale pink and going in with my blush brush just to sort of pad a little bit of colour onto the tops of my cheekbones and the corners of my eyes. This is a step that you could avoid if you don't want to do this. I do this just to sort of add an extra little bit of colour underneath the extra pink eyes that I will be adding in a little bit, and just to sort of add all that colour back in, because he is very white and his whole look and whole aesthetic is very white and pink. So I experimented quite a lot to find what balance I quite liked of the white and pink. So I quite like having this blush stage here. You don't need it if you don't quite like the look of it. Once I've popped the blush down on my face, I go in with my contour. I actually contour Angel in pink. This might seem like a little bit of an odd option, but much like when I did Charlie and I did Lucifer, where I contour them in a sort of really warm neutral grey, I don't like contouring white body paint in just like a grey or a brown. I find that it sort of can look a little bit too harsh or a little bit too washed out on white body paint, so I tend to pick a colour. And so for Angel, because he's white and pink, I actually use a very mauvey pink colour to do all of his contour. It's not too dramatic, but what it does is give him that bit more of a like theatre painted look that I really quite like. It's not too in your face, but it does it gives performer. And I really quite like that about him. Again, it's all about experimentation and what works best for you, but I love how the pink contour looks on him. And I am just hitting that on my jaw, my cheekbones, my temples, and my cupid's bow. Once you're happy with your contour and how it looks, I'm going to do my eyeshadow. Now, for Angel, I don't want it to be too dramatic, but I want it to be dramatic enough because he has such a dark, heavy eyeliner that you can still see the colour behind it. So for this, we're going pink, pink, and more pink. And I'm just putting down a light pink as my base across the entire lid. And then what I'm going to do is go in with a hot pink, and I'm popping that in the outer corner of my eye and the inner corner of my eye, and creating a sort of sandwich look on my eye where it's dark, light, dark. And just blending all of that out so that it's not too harsh. And making sure to sweep that underneath the eye as well. And if it is too dark in the middle of your eye and you're not finding the balance there, don't be afraid to pop a white or a lighter colour back into the sort of middle of your lid, just to add that lightness back into it. We don't want it to be too dark. We just want it to be fun, you know? To start on his extra eyes on his face, I take my biggest fluffy eyeshadow brush that is really round, and I take the same hot pink that we've just popped on our eyes, and what I do is almost use my brush as a stamp just to get the placement and the size for my eyes. A lot of people just do dots. That is absolutely fine. If you want to just do dots, you do dots. But once I am happy with the placement of my little round circles, I go in with a little angled brush and the same eyeshadow, and just sort of shape them to look a little bit more eye-shaped. Just because in the show, when he goes a little bit more demonic, it is revealed that they are actually eyes, and I wanted to hint towards that a little bit more by just making them a little bit more angular and a little bit more almond shaped, just to like mimic eyes. Just take your time with this step. It doesn't need to be like perfect, as long as you're sort of getting the vibe across. Once I had placed down my eyes, I went back to my eyeshadow look to add glitter, because who would Angeldust be if not for glitter and sparkle and shine? So I go in with the May Beauty Toxic Sugar Glitter Bomb palette, and I use their hot pink glitter all over my eye just to add that little bit of a pop. And then I go into the middle of my eye where we sort of had that lightness earlier with their pale pink glitter. I then take their sort of like shimmery silvery white shade that they have in this palette, and I use that to highlight just the bottom of the inner corner of my eye, my nose, and my cupid's bow, because he needs to glimmer and shine at all costs. For my eyeliner, I'm just using a black liquid, and we're creating quite a dramatic eyeliner look for Angel. He has quite a dramatic eye shape in the show, so I try to mimic that with my eyeliner by creating a larger wing than I would normally do, making sure to bring that across the top of the lid, and then we're going to do the inner corner of our eyes. Now take your time with this step because it can take some practice to get used to, but just take your time and you will be fine. Just to sort of mimic that wing, but on the inner corner of our eye. Not being too dramatic with it, but just, you know, adding that little bit more shape to our eyes. And then what I'm going to do is connect the bottom of our outer wing to my bottom lashes, just to sort of make it look like the entire eye is ringed in black. Sounds very dramatic, sounds very complicated. If you want to do this with a powder or an eyeshadow first, just to make sure that you get your shape right, I highly recommend, and you can always go back over it with an eyeliner later. Make sure you do some mascara too. We don't want some pale lashes on our dark eyes. And I do top and bottom lashes. For our lips, I didn't address it earlier, but whilst I was doing my eyeshadow, I made sure to put some eyeshadow on the bottom lips, just because I do a two-toned lip look for Angel, but I don't want my bottom lip to look too much, so I use eyeshadow just to create that sort of soft, pinky look on the bottom. And then I use a black lipstick to line my top lip very carefully, extending those outer corners just to give it that little bit of a smile, and then just filling the whole thing in with with black, making sure to try and not catch our bottom lip whilst it's still wet. I find I love this look for Angel just because it's dramatic but not too in your face, and it still allows him to have that little bit of softness with the eyeshadow on the bottom lips. Now, because I am going to a con with this, we have to make sure to set our makeup. You can do this with a powder, any setting powder will do here. Just make sure to take your time, you don't want to accidentally wipe off any of your hard work. But because I'm going to a con and I really want this to stay, I'm going in with the Mehron barrier spray, and I am just very carefully and very nervously spraying this all over my face and then just giving it a wave just to sort of make sure everything is in place and isn't going to move through a very hot and sweaty con day. And that is it for Angel's makeup. Obviously there is a lot that goes into Angel anyway, from his wig to his costume. I'll give some a little sneaky peeky behind the scenes for this, for how Angel's costume works with me. I am fully corseted underneath Angel. I have 2 pairs of tights on, full push-up bra, the whole works, just to make sure that the body shape is how I want for Angel. You do not need this. If you are just getting started cosplaying Angel, what I recommend is buying an oversized suit jacket, most likely in white. Tailor it down if you can. There are plenty of methods that can show you how to take in clothing. Make sure it fits you in the way that you want it to, and then just add pink ribbon or pink fabric in stripes over the top. It's really easy to do. It's a really easy way to transform an existing garment so you do not have to make it from scratch, so that you can make it work for you. Alternatively, there are Angeldust cosplays that you can buy, or you can try a different outfit from the show that he wears. My wig is just a short Casso white wig that I have had for years and years and years and years. Any short white wig will do. The gloves I just bought off Amazon. I just wear black shorts I bought from Amazon. The shoes I already owned. A little secret, my Angeldust shoes are actually a pair of ankle heels that I wear black and thigh-high socks over the top of. So if you want a really easy way to cheat thigh-high like boots, just pop a pair of thigh-high socks over the top. As long as you don't mind the bottom getting a bit messy, they're really, really good dupe for thigh-high boots. So that's my little tip and my little secret for you. And that's it. As I say, Angel was entirely made by me, so it is a little bit hard for me to sort of explain the easy way to get started cosplaying him. Make sure it's comfortable, make sure you're happy with it, and you will have far more fun. And you don't need the extra arms, I'm just crazy. And that's it from me. That is Angel. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, guys. I really appreciate it. If you would like to be and you're not already, please consider subscribing to Celios Cosplay. We have so much coming, from more lookbooks to plenty of other vlogs and CMVs and all sorts of fun content coming your way. We really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a like, leave a comment, let me know who you are most looking forward to seeing next, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys, bye bye.